Welcome people of the World Wide Web. So my name's Chris and this is Cypher Sigma Toys. Yes, this is my toy channel. I do also have a movie channel. Thank you for coming along for this video. I'm not quite sure when this video go out, so it might go out in the new year. This was picked up, I ordered it, I bought it when I got paid just before Christmas. It came Christmas Eve. It completes a set. This, the reason why this video is late, just trying to organize everything, plus these will be considered in my top 10 pickups of, or could be considered in my top 10 pickups of 2025. So I kind of needed to play with it and get it out and do the video and do everything before doing the top 10, because otherwise it kind of ruins it if people are like, well, where did you get that from? So this is what I picked up. So Silver Bolt. So a little late to the party. I didn't buy it at pre-order. It cost me £91.98, I think, from Amazon. So around £92, which is about the going rate. On the second-hand market, you're looking 100 plus. So if you've seen the video before, there's two of the little guys, and there's the other two guys. So I have all the four little mini guys, Air Raid and all the other, I can't remember all their names, apologies, to add to this set. Silver Bolt was the last one because obviously 2026 I'm trying to save as much as possible. I splurged just before Christmas because I didn't put this on my Christmas list. Me, my family, in-laws, everybody and my wife all had budgets. The budgets were under the price of what this actually costs per person or couple. So not wanting to just get one item, and obviously very much the way I work, I like to pick the stuff up where I can find it, because obviously I know how cheap it is. If I left it to my family or relatives or something like that, they could end up spending a lot more on the second-hand market, thinking that it's, you know, oh, that's what it wants, and I don't want them to spend that sort of money. Quite a few so I cut one of the guns. That's what it looks like when you pull the tray off. So if anybody does or doesn't know, this is part of Hasbro's kind of new combiner sets, where it's 5 robots, but they kind of have a a base or an additional bit that goes on the main bolt, Silver Bolt being this one. And this additional bit basically forms the body, and these bits just, obviously Silver Bolt will do the chest, and then it's got compartments for the arms and legs. So you can kind of just on this one robot alone, make a kind of skeleton version of Superion. But obviously me wanting to be complete, obviously this is my first, so you can kind of see that is Silver Bolt, and obviously that is kind of the chest plate. Comes with this, which I think is, yeah, it's quite stiff, just is some sort of weapon, and then has a little gun there. So just make sure I pull everything out of the little components. So that's like the guns and that have come from there, and then you have the main chest section in this. Oh, it's sellotaped on the back. That probably would have been a good idea for me to check that first. But in all fairness, I think, yeah, I've ripped it apart anyway. I don't keep any of the boxes, so for me it doesn't really matter, and apologies for the noises of this. Right, so let's put that out of the way. That is the box. Let's move all the little tabs. So yes, so here we have essentially Silver Bolt. Obviously you have to pop the wing up like that. It is a version of Concorde, it looks like, and the nose cone is folded in. So you open up the head. This is self-explanatory, even though I do find with these folded bits down, they are a bit of a pain to fold out. Okay. Cool. So there is essentially Silver Bolt in Concorde plane mode. Obviously these were the first Autobots to actually have planes. Obviously if you watch the cartoons from back in the day in the 80s, obviously the Autobots were more or less cars consistently. Decepticons were planes and everything, and Decepticons could fly, and the Autobots kind of lost that ability within a few episodes of the series itself. Rhyme or reason behind that is, I assume, just to make a distinction. So as I said, he looks cool. Obviously he would form essentially, because you can kind of tell here is the head of Superion and part of the body of Superion. But what, as I said, they kind of have these battle bases. So here is this. So this thing was never in the cartoons. This, like the higher end grade transformers and stuff like this will be bigger, and it can have other sections in it. Obviously, because it's Hasbro and they are on a budget. Oh, apologies, I haven't folded out the wings completely. So there are two little tabs that sit in these little alcoves here. So there you go. That's what's that looks a bit better. So yeah, so you see, like, okay, looks quite cool. But how is this going to form a transformer? And then obviously we have this chunky bit. Now this is a battle station. It can turn into it kind of a. Let me get the box and I will illustrate it for you. So here is obviously the transformer that we have, and that is in human form. I'll throw up pictures I'm going. Obviously this extended bit then becomes a battle base, which is a bit cheesy. It's not the greatest thing they do, but essentially what it will do is this part with him, obviously as you can see here, that's the underside of him, so that's it. And then he forms the skeletal remains. All of this comes from that big bulky body bit, or you can attach it to the back of the plane to create this humongous meaty thing. I say I'm not essentially going to do that. I won't necessarily do the base, but I will build this. And then obviously where it has, you see these gaps here and on there, this is where these guys, they split apart at the waist, and then they connect in two bits, which I'll show you pictures of, to become Superion. So far it looks good. A little bit stiff coming out of the packaging, so have to be very careful. As I say, I'm not quite sure how you would connect this to that, but oh, okay, there you go. So you can kind of see it sits there. So that is and I know it seems kind of, yeah, that's not that simple. It is literally that simple. If I probably, without breaking it, there are a few. Do these lugs come out? Okay, so you see these red sections here. These are like connector lugs. These will this is what I say, they're really pain. I don't know, it's me. I kind of use a little bit. There you go. When you've got to use additional tools, it's a bit of a pain. So yep, so those two bits fold out there. So it sits there. Obviously they will clip on, I believe, what is essentially his legs or his arms. So it doesn't quite clip in as nice as I would thought. I'm not sure. Oh, hang on. Let's right, so you have to fold the rear wings up, because you will see probably on here there's a lug there, lug here, and these clip into them. This pushes that connector port on the back of him, so this section here has a little lug. So once that's in place, you fold the wings down. You see the lug is there, and there you go. The Concorde becomes this. I don't know how this would stick in. It kind of looks a little bit like the Shield base from Marvel. You know, like, I'm not sure if anyone would ever display it in this form. Who knows? But yeah. So as I say, I will throw pictures up of it. I think I will like it. I think I would say glad to have it. It's my first ever Superior that I've had and put together. I won't do an end review. As I say, I am considering this, and obviously this is a big kind of combination of toys, of whether this will be included in my top 10. And if it is included in my top 10, I will give it more of an overview then and say what I like and don't like about it and stuff, rather than maybe if I do really like it, then obviously this video, I don't want to repeat myself. Are you a fan of Superion? Do you have this set? Now, obviously these bots cost about 25 each and this cost 90. So I think this is close to £200 for a combiner, which is quite expensive. It's kind of the going rate, what they're doing now. Obviously, this did drop a little bit in some sites down to 80. Obviously, I just wasn't looking and missed all of that. But I say now it's up to 100 or stuff. You know, how much did you pay for it and what do you think for it? I'm sure there are other Superions out there version. But thank you very much for watching this video. As I said, Cypher Sigma Toys, and I'll definitely see you in the next one.